Hey guys, we'll get started in about a minute. All right, it's 6 o'clock and we're gonna start now. All right, so today's lesson is gonna be about angles. So those of you guys that take Cloud Classroom's geometry class, I'm pretty sure you guys already have a grasp on this. But pre-algebra also covers angles, so that's what we're gonna cover today. All right, so here's some terminology for angles. So we have lines, line segments, and rays, and a point. So here's some examples. A point has no size or shape, just a position. So if I point to a spot, that's a point. Okay, a line is a straight path of points that has no beginning or no end. So we would draw this with two arrows at the end to show that they go on forever. And for a point, I'll go back. We will write this as point M, and for a line, we write this as line XY with the line symbol over the top. A line segment is a portion of a line that has two endpoints. So pretty similar to a line, except it doesn't have any arrows. Is the segments end at the points. So we see here the difference. You see the line segment ends at point A and point B, but if we add some arrows at the end, that becomes a line. And to write this, we write this as AB, and with the line across the top, but no arrows. An array is a portion of a line which has one endpoint and extends. Where's that bottom part say? Extends forever in one direction. Sorry, something was covering it. All right, so pretty similar to a line also, except there's an arrow only on one end of it. The other end is just ends at a line segment. And we write this as ray PQ with the ray symbol. So a line segment at one point, at one end, and so an arrow at one end and no arrow at the other. All right, and here's some angles. I'm sure you guys know these already. So an acute angle is an angle that's less than 90 degrees. A right angle is 90 degrees exactly. An obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees and less than 180. But most of the time we just say an obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees. A straight angle is an angle that's exactly 180 degrees. So 180 degrees is a straight line. A reflex angle, I've actually never, I've never been taught this at school, but a reflex angle is an angle that's greater than 180 and less than 360. So we can see here we go around rather than inside the angle, inside the lines or the rays. And here's a full angle, an angle that is exactly 360 degrees. So 360 degrees is all the way around. So it's a circle. All right, naming angles. So the vertex is the point where the two rays meet to form an angle. So we can see here, the rays meet at point B. So this is the vertex of the angle. And angles can be named in the following ways: by three capital letters with the vertex letter in the middle. So A, capital A, capital A, capital A, capital B, capital C, or CBA. So we write the angle symbol before the three letters. Or by only one capital letter, which is the vertex, angle B. This can only be used if angle B is the only angle it could be. So for example, let's say ray A this ray right here extends past point B and C extends past point B also, we would have another angle here, and we would have a point here and a point here. We call this D, E. Then we have to be more specific. We have to, if we're talking about this angle, we have to call it angle ABC. And if we're talking about this angle right here, we have to name it angle DBE. And these have to go in order. So you can't call it angle ACB. The vertex has to be in the middle. Or you can name it by one lowercase letter or number written in the middle of an angle. So right here, we name this angle angle 1. So we can also call it angle 1. Or we could call it angle X, angle Y, and that will also work. All right, so circles have 360 degrees. You guys know that already. Angles A and C, if you guys look at this diagram right here, so angles A and C are vertical angles and are always congruent because of the vertical angle theorem. So if we have two lines that intersect right here, and it forms two angles opposite of each other, these angles will always be the same angle measure. And angles B and D are also vertical angles. So D is directly opposite of B. So these angle measures are also the same. All right, and if you guys look at this graph, this chart down here, we have types of angles. So a complementary angle, angles that add up to 90 degrees. And a supplementary angle are angles that add up to 180 degrees. So if you guys see here, 52 plus 38, that makes a right angle, 90 degrees. And 128 plus 52, that makes a 180 degree angle or a straight line. All right, so how I remember it, when I think of supplementary angle, I think of supplement, and that's kind of extra. And 180 is greater than 90, so it has an extra 90. So that's how I remember it, but it doesn't really matter. All right, measuring angles. So here's a picture of a protractor. You guys use this to measure angles. So that's just to show you guys. All right, and here are some examples. So what is the measure of the smaller angle between the hour and minute hands of a clock at 5 p.m.? So if you guys look over here on the right side, we have a clock that shows 5 p.m. or 5 a.m. And we want to find this smaller angle. So so a clock is a circle, so it has 360 degrees. And there are 60 minutes in an hour. So each minute represents 60 degrees. So we see here we have some tick marks around the clock. So each space in between these tick marks, that's 6 degrees. And there are 12 hours represented on the clock. So each hour represents 30 degrees. So we got these numbers by dividing 360 by 60 to get 6 and 360 divided by 12 to get 30. So each hour, so each space in between each hour, that represents 30 degrees. So we see here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 of those spaces in between 12, in between these two hands, the minute hand and the hour hand. So since the hour hand is at 5 o'clock, the angle is 30 times 5. And so this angle here in between is 150 degrees. So to solve this clock problem, we used our knowledge of time and of a circle to figure out what the angle measure is. We don't need a protractor to solve this problem. We know these spaces in between these tick marks are equal. So so we use that knowledge to solve this problem. Here's another one. So if you guys look at this diagram at the bottom right, so angle 1 is 3 times the measure of angle 2. Find the measures of all angles. So for this problem, we need to use our knowledge of the vertical angle theorem and that all of these angles added together is 360 degrees. Because if we draw a circle here, we can draw a circle around all these angles, and we know a circle is 360 degrees. So that's how we know these all add up to 360 degrees. So angle 1 and angle 3 equal 3x, and angle 2 and angle 4 equal x. 3x is 3 times x. So combine all of the angles equal 3x plus 3x plus x plus x. and we simplify these, and we combine like terms to get 8x. So 8x is the measure, is all of the angles combined, and all of the angles combined equal 360 degrees. So we set up an algebraic equation. 8x equals 360. We divide each side by 8, so we get x equals 45. And then once we find x, we just plug x back in for x and 3x and x to find our angles, our angle measurements. So angles 1 and 3 equal 3 times 45, and this is 135 degrees. Angles 2 and 4 equal 45 degrees because it's just x, and we have our answers. And we can test if this is true or not by just adding all these angles together. So 135 plus 135 plus 45 plus 45, and it does equal 360 degrees. So we're still using algebra to solve these problems. All right, so here's a disclaimer. Don't assume an angle's measurement based off the picture. You have to, in math, you can't look at the picture and think, oh, this is a right angle. It has to tell you it's a right angle. Because, you know, a right angle has the square symbol. It has that symbol. But other angles do not. So you can't just assume. So here's an example. Although angles A, B, C, and D all look congruent, the problem may say that angle A is 10 times greater than angle B. So it can go out of scale. So some problems may have terrible pictures. It might say a smaller angle is greater than a bigger angle, but you have to get your information from the problem itself, from the words, and not the picture. But you guys know that already. All right, so here's some challenge problems. We have 4 of them. So once again, type your answers into the chat and ask any questions into the chat also, and I'll answer them. And I'll give you guys about 10 minutes for these problems. So 6:21. And also, I don't know if you guys are back at school yet, but here in the Sacramento region, we're back at school. So, but thank you to you guys that are back at school and still showed up to this class. That shows a lot of commitment. Ethan, you have a question? Okay, never mind. Not Sacramento. I live in Elk Grove, so pretty close to Sacramento. Yeah. The first bullet point is not a question. It's just to tell you guys diagrams are not shown to scale. Basically, this disclaimer. So. Yeah, but if you guys are in the Sacramento region, we have a terrible heat wave right now. It's gonna be like 110 this week. So it's pretty bad. Those of you guys that live in Seattle, you guys have it much better. Or not Seattle, Washington State. It's 77 right now? No, it's not. It's 106. Where are you at? No, I don't think you live here. Oh, Seattle. Okay. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, about 1 more minute. All right, so typing your last answers into the chat. It's okay if you guys didn't finish, but I'm gonna go over the answers right now. All right, so the second bullet point, or the first question, angle 1 is 30 degrees. Angles 2 and 4 are congruent. Find all angle measurements. So we see, again, these angles are not to scale. But angle 1 is 30 degrees. That means angle 3 must also be 30 degrees because they are still vertical angles. So they still have to have the same angle measurement. And remember, all these angles have to add up to 360 degrees. So 30 plus 30, that's 60 degrees right there. So that means angle 2 and 4 have to add up to 300 degrees. So 300, and they are also the same angle measure. They also have the same angle measure because they are also vertical angles. So 300 divided by 2 is 150. So we know that angle 1 and angle 3 are both 30 degrees, and angles 2 and 4 are both 150 degrees. All right, angle 1 is 10 degrees greater than angle 2. Angle 1 and angle 3 are congruent, but we know that already because they're vertical angles. Find all angle measurements. So we need to set this up. We need to set up another algebra equation. So angle 1 is 10 degrees greater than angle 2. So that means it's x plus 10, and angle 2 is x. Well, we know that angle 3 is also x plus 10, and we know angle 4 is also x. And when we combine those, we get 4x plus 20. And then 4x plus 20 equals, and we set that equal to 360 degrees. So 360 minus 20 is 340. 340, and then we divide by 4 from each side to solve for x. And 340 divided by 4, that is 85 degrees. And then once we find x, we can just plug in the number back in for x. So we know angle 2 and angle 4 are both x. So that means angles 2 and angle 4 are both 85 degrees. And angle 1 and angle 3 are 10 degrees greater. So we add 10 to 85. So they're both 95 degrees. And we know we're correct because when we add up all the angle degrees, it adds up to 360 degrees. So that's how we check. All right, angle 1 is 1 degree. Angles 2, 3, and 4 are congruent. Find all angle measurements. Actually, that was not a very good. Yeah, that was not a very good problem for this diagram. I'm sorry, guys. I should have used a different diagram, but you guys dealt with it. I just realized that. All right, so angles 2, 3, and 4 are all congruent. So we'll label them x. And angle 1 is 1 degree, so we know that already. So our equation will be 3x plus 1 equals 360. So we subtract 1 from each side, and then we divide by 3, and we get 119 and 2/3. So 119.66 repeated angle, 119.66 degrees. So that's the angle measure for 2, 3, and 4. They're all congruent. but angle 1 is only 1 degree, so we found that already. So that's our answer. So 3 angles, 2, 3, and 4 are 119 and 2/3 degrees, and angle 1 is 1 degree. How would that diagram look? That was really bad diagram. Sorry, guys. Yeah, for that diagram, you guys would need 4 lines, I think, or 4 rays. Yeah, sorry, guys. Okay. A transversal is a line that cuts across 2 parallel lines. So we have 2 parallel lines right here, and we have a transversal here. It cuts across. So here there are some patterns or properties of this transversal that we need to know, that we should know. So angles 1, 4, and 5, 1, 4, 5, and 8 are all congruent in this diagram. So 1, 4, 5, and 8. Well, we see that 1 and 4 are vertical angles, obviously, and we see that 5 and 8 are also vertical angles. But in a transversal, when these lines are parallel, 1, 4, these pairs of vertical angles are congruent. And same thing with the other pairs of vertical angles. 2, 3, 6, and 7. 2 and 3 are vertical angles. 6 and 7 are also vertical angles. But when a transversal cuts across a parallel line, that makes these angles congruent. So remember, these lines have to be parallel. That's what makes these properties true. So we use this symbol, these 2 vertical lines, to say 2 lines are parallel. So say this line, the top line is line A, say the bottom line is line B, we would say line A and line B. We would say line B, 2 lines, line B. No, line A, 2 lines, line B. That's how we say they're parallel. All right, here's some examples. So angle 1 is 45 degrees. Once again, these are not drawn to scale. So angle 1 is 45 degrees, find all angle measures. So all we need is to know one angle measurement to find everything else. So angles 1, 4, 5, and 8 are all 45 degrees. We know that right off the bat. And if we look here, we notice some more properties with more pairs. So we see that angles 1 and 2 at the top are supplementary angles. They add up to 180 degrees. But we also notice that angles 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and 7 and 8, those 3 pairs of angles are all supplementary angles. They all add up to 180. Same thing with 1 and 3, 5 and 7, and so on. So there are many pairs of supplementary angles in this diagram. So we can use our knowledge of supplementary angles. They all add up to 180 to solve this problem. So 180 minus 45 equals 135. So that means angles 2, 3, 6, and 7 are all 135 degrees. And this is true because 135 plus 45 is 180. That's half of these 4 pairs of angles, which is 180, and all 4 of them, which also makes a semicircle, and the other half makes a full circle, which is 360. So all these 4 angles here must add up to 360. These 4 angles at the bottom here must add up to 360 also. So remember, these are vertical angles here. There are supplementary angles here also. So that's how we know. All right, so here's some challenge problems, only 2. So angle 2 equals x. Well, this is not, this is still a transversal angle. Lines A and B are still parallel, but here we have 2 lines that cut, we have 2 transversals. But we still use the same properties. So we see angles 1 and 4 here, they are still vertical angles. 3 and this blank angle here, 2 and this blank angle here also, they are also vertical angles. I should have labeled them, but it's fine. You guys can figure it out. All right, angle T equals x, angle 7 equals x plus 30, find x. Or find angle 2. And angle 2 is 30 degrees right here. Angle 1 is 40 degrees. Find the measure of angle 3. And I'll give you guys about 8 minutes. All right, guys, here's a hint for the first one. So we have two transversals here. So if you guys cover one up, we can see that we can see the angles that are congruent. So if we cover line C up, if we get rid of it, we can see that angle 2 is congruent to angle 8. And we know that angle 8 and angle 7 are supplementary angles, so they add to 180 degrees. So that's you guys' hint. So this transversal here, basically, it separates angles 3 and 4. Angles 3 and 4 would normally be together if this line wasn't here. And for the second one, you guys are just using your knowledge of vertical angles, and that this whole thing here adds up to 360 degrees. So angles 2 and this blank angle here are 30 degrees, and angle 1 and angle 4 are both 40 degrees. So we just add up 40 40 30 30, that equals 140 degrees right there, and this whole thing equals 360 degrees. So to find angle 3, we know angle 3 and this blank angle here are vertical angles. So we just gotta, so we set it up. So let's name angle 3 as X. So angle 3 is X, and this blank angle here is also X. So this is 2X plus 140. The 140 degrees we already have equals 360 degrees. And then we solve for X. So if it's a straight line here, you add up to 180. If it's if you can draw a circle around all of the angles, then it is 360 degrees. Okay, I'll give you guys about 1 more minute or 2 more minutes to figure it out. And don't worry if you guys get these wrong. This is new to you guys. So anytime you guys try something new, it takes time to do it correctly. So you guys are just getting started. Don't worry about any of that. It's natural. I know you guys are all very smart from the problems you guys did before. Okay, I'll go over the answers. All right, so the first one, angle 2 equals X, angle 7 equals X plus 30, find X. So we know already that angle 2 and angle 8 are congruent. So angle 8 is also X, and angle 7 is X plus 30. So we just combine these, we combine X and X plus 30, and we set that equal to 180, because this is a straight angle, it is a straight line. Yeah, as always, we're gonna play Kahoot, so don't worry, we'll get there. All right, so when we combine like terms, we get 2X plus 30 equals 180, and then we just solve for X. So we subtract 30 from each side, then we get 2X equals 150. 150 divided by 2 is 75. So angle 2 equals 75 degrees, and X equals 75. All right, angle 2 is 30 degrees, angle 1 is 40 degrees. Find the measure of angle 3. So we know what angles 1, 2, 3, 4, and these two blank angles here, these add up to 360 degrees. So angle 2 is 30. That means its vertical angle here is also 30. Angle 1 and angle 4 are both 40. We add those up, we get 140. That means an angle 3 and this extra blank angle here are vertical angles, so they're congruent. So we set up another algebra equation. So this becomes 2x, x representing 3 and this angle. We have two of them. So 2x plus 140 equals 360. And 360 minus 140 is 220. So this angle 3 plus this blank angle here equals 220 degrees. And they're equal, so we divide it by 2. So 220 divided by 2 is 110. So angle 3 is 110 degrees. So to solve these problems, you just got to know the properties of some angles. So angles 1, 2, 3, 4, these two blank angles, they all add up to 360. I can draw a circle around all these angles. That way, that means it's 360. If some angles add up together, become a straight line, it's 180 degrees. Because it's half a circle, so it's straight. And we know the vertical angles are congruent, and that's really all we need to know about to solve these problems. Because if we know the properties and they just give us one angle, we can use that angle to find other angles. But like I said, this is new material, so don't worry about getting them right or wrong. Just practice them, and you guys will get better. All right, angles and polygons. So we refer to this hexagon in order of its angles. So for example, we call this hexagon A, B, C, D, E, F. We go in order of the sides, or we can call it angles, or we can call it hexagon E, D, C, B, A, F. So E, D, C, B, A, F. It has to be in order. We can't skip around. We can't call it hexagon A, C, F, E, D, B. That's out of order. We can't do that. So it doesn't matter which angle, it doesn't matter which vertex you start at, you just got to go in order. All right, so a diagonal connects two non-adjacent angles. So adjacent means they're next to each other. So we see two diagonals here. A connects angles A and C. They are not next to each other. Angles A and B are adjacent. Angles B and C are also adjacent. So an interior angle is an angle inside a polygon that is formed by a pair of consecutive sides of the polygon. So if you guys see the inside of the hexagon, all of these angles you guys see here, these are all interior angles. So interior angles inside the polygon. All right, triangle. Well, so yeah, this is basically a geometry lesson, but we still need to use algebraic methods. So it is still pre-algebra. All right, triangles. So the sum of all of the interior angles in a triangle always add up to 180 degrees. So this is another property you guys need to know. So the interior, if you guys look at one of these triangles, all the interior angles, if you add them up, if you add their angle measures up, they will equal 180 degrees. That is true for every triangle. And here are some types of triangles. So here are some triangles by side. So an equilateral triangle. You guys probably know these already. Equilateral, isosceles, scalene. Equilateral, all sides are equal. Isosceles, two sides are equal. Scalene triangle, no sides are equal. And here are triangles by angle. So an acute triangle has three angles less than 90 degrees. Right angle has one angle that is exactly 90 degrees, or one right angle. And an obtuse angle has one angle that is greater than 90. All right, so only one angle can be 90 because if you guys look at this property here, all the interior angles always have to add up to 180 degrees. So say we have two angles that are 90 degrees. We still have to have a third angle, right? But 90 plus 90 is already 180. So we can't, so that means we can't have another angle. So that means only one angle can be right, can be a right angle. So one angle can be 90 degrees, another one can be 89, and another angle can be 1. That works, but we can only have one right angle. All right, so here are some examples. So angle B is 30 degrees. Oh, and one more thing. When you guys name these angles, so angle A, angle B, angle C, the opposite side is the same name but in lowercase letters. So the angles are capitalized, but the sides are lowercase. All right, so angle B is 30 degrees. Find angle A. So we know from this symbol here, this little square symbol, this is a right angle. It is 90 degrees. So this is our right angle. So angle C is 90 degrees because it is a right angle, it tells us. And the interior angles all add up to 180 degrees. So angle B plus angle A plus angle C, 180 degrees, always. So that means, and we know angle B is 30. So angle A plus angle B, 30, plus angle C, 90, equals 180. So 30 plus 90 is 120. 180 minus 120 is 60. So angle A equals 60 degrees. All right, sum of interior angles in a polygon. So a regular polygon is a polygon in which all of the sides have the same length and all of the angles have the same measure. So a regular square, so a regular rectangle is a square. All sides are equal, all angles are equal. But here's a property. If you know all the sides are equal, then you know all the angles must be equal. Because if you guys think about it, to get a side, the side is dependent upon the angle. So like in a triangle, if you shorten, pretend here's like a line right here. And here's the angle. If you guys make this angle smaller, the opposite side also has to get smaller. So the opposite side always is dependent upon the angle. So that's how you guys know. All right, so sum of interior angles in polygons. So here's a quadrilateral, 4 sides, pentagon, 5 sides, and so on, hexagon, heptagon, octagon, it goes on and on. So if you guys look at this chart here, you can see a pattern. So here are the names of the polygons, and in the second column, it is the number of sides, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here are the number of triangles from one vertex. So a triangle is obviously one triangle, but a quadrilateral actually holds two triangles for the diagonals. So if you guys look at these diagrams up here, so if you guys look at the quadrilateral, we start at one angle and we draw one diagonal. So in the quadrilateral, there's only one diagonal from one angle. The other angles are next to each other, or next to this angle, or adjacent. And we can see here it made 2 triangles. In a pentagon, if we start from one angle and we draw its diagonals, we see it's 3 triangles, and so on, 4 triangles, 5 triangles, 6 triangles. Can you guys see my mouse? I think you guys can, but I just want to make sure. Just type it into the chat and tell me. So here's the number of triangles. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm always using my mouse to teach. If you guys can't see it, that's pretty bad. All right, so sum of interior angle measurements. Sum of interior angle measures. So we know a triangle. All the interior angles is 180. So if we have one triangle here, that's obviously just 180 degrees. But if we have 2 triangles, that's 2 times 180. That's 360 degrees. 3 times 180, 540, and so on. And if we continue this pattern, if we generalize this pattern for however many polygons there are, however many sides, we get the equations at the bottom. We get this equation at the bottom. N minus 2 times 180. That is the sum of the interior angle measurements, where n is the number of sides. And this equation always works. So say we want to find what angle, what all the interior angles add up to in a pentagon. So a pentagon has 5 sides. So and then 5 minus 2 is 3, right? So 3, well, yeah. So 3 times 180 is 540. And we see this is true. And we pick any, we try this with any other polygon, and it always works. So an octagon, 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 times 180 is 1080 degrees. And so that means, and this is true, all the interior angles in the octagon add up to 1080 degrees. So basically, starting from a triangle, if you add a side to a polygon, the sum of the interior angles will increase by 180 degrees. That is always true. And we started with triangle because a polygon has to have at least 3 sides. We can't make a shape with only 2 sides. You guys can try it, but it's not gonna work. We can go like this, we can go like this. It's never gonna work with only 2 sides. So the least number of sides, you guys probably already noticed already. So the least number of sides in a polygon has to be 3. All right, exterior angles. So here's the exterior angle theorem, another theorem for a triangle, but also applicable to other things. So here it is. So the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the 2 opposite interior angles. So angle D is the exterior angle, and when it says the two opposite interior angles, we can see the 2 opposite interior angles are angles A and angle B. So this theorem basically states this exterior angle D is equal to the sum of angle A plus angle B. That's the exterior angle theorem. We know this is true because this angle here, the interior angle directly next to angle D, we know that 180 minus D is this angle. But we know that all the interior angles of a triangle is also 180 degrees. So that's how we get this this equation. All right, exterior angle sum of polygons. So none of my teachers ever taught this theorem at my school, but I saw this, and I guess it's nice to show you guys. So the exterior angle sum of polygons. So here are the exterior angles of a pentagon. You guys see here with these green curves. These represent the angles. So this basically states the exterior angles of any polygon add up to 360 degrees. So that is the theorem. So if you add up all these angles here, all these exterior angles, they'll add up to 360 degrees. Okay. Yeah, I'm going pretty fast. I think we might end early today, but we'll see. All right, so here's some examples. So the pentagon is a regular pentagon. Find x. All right, so guys, give me credit for this one. So I saw this diagram in the book, but I can't copy and paste these diagrams from the book. So I have to go and find all these separate shapes to actually make this shape on my PowerPoint. So give me some credit for that. All right, so this pentagon here is a regular pentagon. That means all the interior angles of this pentagon are equal. And I want to find x. All right, so if we use the formula to find the angle measurements, the sum of all the interior angles of a pentagon, we find that it equals 540 degrees. So the interior angles, the sum of the interior angles of a pentagon all add up to 540 degrees. And it's a regular pentagon, so that means all these angles are equal. So we divide 540 by 5, and we get 108. So each interior angle of a pentagon is 108 degrees. All right, the interior angles of the triangle adjacent to the pentagon are 180 degrees minus 108 equals 72. So these two angles here, these equal 72 degrees, because if you guys see here, this is still a straight line. So that means this angle and this angle add up to 180. But we know this angle of a pentagon is 108. So this is 180 minus 108. So that's how we get this interior angle, these two interior angles of this triangle to be 72 degrees. All right, so once we know these two, we can just use the exterior angle formula or the theorem, exterior angle theorem to find x. So x is the exterior angle, and that means x is equal to this angle plus this angle. So it is simply 72 plus 72 equals 144. So x is 144 degrees. Or another way you guys could have done it, you guys could have saw that a triangle is 180 degrees, and then 180 minus these two angles equals equals 36. So this angle here is 36 degrees. And then there's still a straight line here, so 180 minus 36 is 144. So still same way, still the same answer. All right, so here are the last challenge problems of the last two challenge problems of the day. And after these two, we're done with this unit and we're gonna play Kahoot. So we have some time. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm talking about two last slides of challenge problems. So I'll give you guys about 7 minutes to do these. I still want to have you guys have enough time to play Kahoot. So 7 minutes for these three, and I'll give you guys like 4 minutes for this one. All right, so I'll get started. Okay, so for the first one, if you guys see this diagram at the bottom, so this diagram is for the first problem. So angle X, angle Y, and here's angle W. Okay, about 2 more minutes. Anonymous, do you have a question? Or just an accident, like always? Okay, 1 more minute. All right, so typing your last answers into the chat. I'm gonna go over them right now. All right, so angle X equals 42 degrees and angle Y equals 53 degrees. Find angle W. All right, so using this diagram here, so W is the exterior angle and angles X and Y are the two opposite angles. So we just add them up. And so using the exterior angle theorem, we know these two, we know X and Y equals W. So we just add these two together. So 42 plus 53, it is 95. So angle W is 95 degrees. All right. So a little review for ratios. So the measures of the angles of a triangle are in the ratio 1 to 4 to 5. What is the measure of the smallest angle? So we want to set up a ratio of the smallest angle to the triangle, all of the interior angles combined. So we can see here the smallest angle is 1. And when we add up all of these numbers, 1 plus 4 plus 5, we get 10. So the ratio of the smallest angle to the sum of the smallest angle to the sum of all of the interior angles is 1 to 10. So that is our ratio. But 1 to 10 is a simplified ratio. We want to find the actual angle of the smallest angle. So we set up another ratio, X to 180. 180 is the sum of the interior angles, and X is the smallest angle. So now we have a proportional ratio. They're the same ratio, but one is simplified. So how do I get from 10 to 180? I just multiply 10 by 18. So I multiply the simplified ratio by a scale of 18 to get to the regular scale. So I just multiply 1 times 18 to get X, and that is my answer. So the measure of the smallest angle is 18 degrees. All right, what is the measure of each angle of a regular polygon with two sides? So there's two steps. So first, find the sum of all the interior angles, and then divide that by the number of sides. Because a polygon has the same number of sides and the same number of sides and angles. A triangle has 3 sides and 3 angles. A quadrilateral, 4 sides, 4 angles, always true. So I use the interior angle formula to find the sum of all of those angles. So it is n, if you guys forgot already, it is parentheses n minus 2 times 180, with n representing the number of sides. So the number of sides is 20, so 20 minus 2 is 18. 18 times 180 is 3,240. So that is the sum of all of the interior angles. And and it says it is a regular polygon, so all of the interior angles are equal. So it is 3,240 divided by 20, which is also the number of angles. So 3,240 divided by 20 is 162. So each interior angle is 162 degrees. All right, here's the last one. So I'll give you guys about 3 minutes to do it. And after this, we'll play Kahoot. So angle F is 100 degrees and angle B is 150 degrees. Find angle C. So using your knowledge of triangles and vertical angles, you guys should be able to solve this one. All right, so guys, the key to solving this problem is to find the interior angles of this triangle. So that's the key. So we already know one interior angle. Angle F is a vertical angle as this interior angle. So this one is also 100. So you guys know this one already. And we know angle B is 150. So we have to use our knowledge of vertical angles to solve for this one. Guys, remember that some of the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. 180. Okay, about 2 more minutes. I want to leave you guys enough time to play Kahoot. I think I'm gonna annotate for this one. I'll try my best to annotate. Does it work with my hand? Yeah, that works. All right. Okay, I'll go over there right now. So typing your last minute answers. All right. So if you guys look at my annotations here, I'm using my finger. So we know angle F is 100, but this is a vertical angle. So we know this one is also 100 degrees. Kind of hard to write. So that's 100. We know angle B is 150. We know this one is 150 also because they're vertical angles. But we know this angle and this angle are vertical. So all 4 of these angles add up to 360 degrees. So this equals 30. This also equals 30. So we know 2 angles of the triangle already. So 100 and 30. So what's this angle? So we know that some of the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180. And these two angles already add up to 130. So this angle here must be 50. This angle here must be 50 degrees. That means this angle here must also be 50 degrees. So this one is 150. This one is 50. This one is 50. They add up to 100. But we know this angle here and this angle here are vertical angles, and these all add up to 360 degrees. So this is 360 minus 100 equals 260. So this angle here and this angle add up to 260 degrees, but they are equal. So I divided by 2, and that equals 130. So angle C equals 130 degrees. So that's my answer. All right, a lot of annotations there. That was pretty cool. And actually, I'll leave it here. Okay, so here it is. So I'll leave it up here for like a few seconds for you guys to look. It's pretty messy. Okay, so that concludes our lesson for today. So that's the end of this unit. Here's the works cited. I got a bunch of pictures because I couldn't copy any of the pictures from the book. But yeah, so that's lesson 10. So I'll give it now. I'll hand it over to Emily, our TA now, and we'll play Kahoot. Oh yeah, I'll unmute you guys. Let you guys talk. All right, you guys can unmute now.
Yay, hello.
Thank you.
Is this Fairwind dude here?
Yes, he's still here.
Yes, he's still here. Why?
He's still here.
What the heck is your name? I'm kind of hungry. No offense.
Guys, be nice to each other. All right.
I can literally not see everybody. Where is everybody? I can't even see them. Oh.
All right. Yeah, open the chat too. I might regret it.
Yes, thank you. So we don't know how to log in the
Oh, for the Kahoot, you guys need a second device. So if you guys have a phone or anything, go to kahoot.com and then or www.kahoot.it and then type in the code.
I'm Sir ... Well, who the heck is free shower?
Why do you need a second device?
You might not need a second device. I'm not sure.
I
You
have
can
two
just
screens, so
switch tabs.
I have two.
Oh yeah, you guys can't switch tabs, huh?
Democracy.
Oh yeah, you guys don't need a second device.
It's already dark.
Just open a second tab.
There's a democracy here.
I have a second screen, so.
Yeah, that works.
I don't know what to name myself because people
Just
keep
name
on
yourself.
copying me.
Just name yourself Mr. Jeffrey. Is the
Yeah,
best.
but then people will copy me.
Just put Mr. Jeffrey is cool. Good idea.
Yay. Okay, I'm joining.
Jeffrey 2.0. Wow.
I'm the real. That's the real one. Nobody can do like Jeffrey 2.0 period or something. I'm the OG.
You know who my name is?
Oh. No! Whoever did that is a bad person. Oh, whoever did that leaves the me.
Someone should be Jeffrey 4.0.
What is this? Is this
I'm Jeffrey 2.0. Oh my god!
is what? Kahoot.
You know what?
4.0? Okay, who's
Yeah.
down?
There's still more. Guys, try to avoid political statements.
No political statements here.
All right, we're about to start.
Oh my goodness. There's a Jeffrey
There's a lot of people.
already.
Ask the teacher. What are the
Why do so many people want to be me? I'm not even that famous.
Trash.
Not even that famous. I don't think you're famous at all, though.
This is the most people we've had play Kahoot so far.
Also because it's my first time
Let's
playing.
start.
I haven't played. I've never played.
All right, you guys can still join during the game.
What is this?
What is this?
What the heck is what is this?
What is this?
What is this? Wow.
None of the above.
Don't give away answers either.
It's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's not.
Period. Wow.
Yeah, I got it right. It's not a period. Like,
Not a period.
Well, I don't even.
why would you call it a period? What is
What
it?
is this? It doesn't even show us. Doesn't even show us what
This
this
one's
thing
pretty
is.
easy.
2 points on a line. 2 points on a line. That
2 points on a line. That is kind of what it is, just not
Are
really.
you logging?
Yeah.
Cool.
Technical is like 2 points on a line.
Do you understand?
Sure, Mom.
All right, good. No one picked 2 points on a line.
Hey! Ha! See, Jeffrey 2.0 is the best.
What are these?
What are these?
Ooh.
Limes? What are limes, huh?
Why did I pick up the word
Line is
lime?
kind of.
Oh,
just
you
something that
almost
doesn't count.
tricked me there.
Let's
Lime?
go in for N.
Limes?
Keep
What the
it
heck is a
lines.
lime?
Wow. What are
Oh,
I think it's
limes?
not a line. Yay.
whoever picked Ray. Yes.
I'm still second.
Yeah, there were 2 arrows, guys.
What are
What
these?
What are these? Wow. Why is it all just what are these?
Points.
The ABCs?
ABCs.
They are the ABCs.
ABCs. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, C, M, O, Q, R. That's fine.
Well, at least there should be like EFG.
Emily, you're super creative with these answers.
Beautiful answers.
These are such beautiful questions. I have to just say
It's
that.
amazing. I'm 1 point behind someone. So mean.
And a
Acute angle is
God, I already answered and it just doesn't show. Oh, like I remember last time there was a really hard question at the end.
and then like
Everybody got it wrong.
basically.
Hey! Why did it only give me 900
I'm
points?
5 points behind someone.
And obtuse angle is fat.
It is a fat egg.
Acute angle is not fat.
It is a fat angle.
Okay, yes, it's a fat angle.
Acute angle is a cute angle.
Body
Cute. It's a
shaming.
very cute angle. Nice.
It's so small. And when it grows up, it turns into a fat angle.
Don't body shame obtuse angles. That's mean.
Literally, Sir is like just right behind me with like
Right
3.
angle is
Right angle. 91 degrees. Wow.
Oh, a right angle is not that fat and not that skinny.
It's just
It's
correct.
just right.
It's right.
So she's
No,
average.
a right
Yeah,
angle's
okay.
buff. He has muscles.
Really?
We have an average person over here.
Whoever picked the 91 is like,
Wait, we have
Why would you-
29
why?
people
I'm in 9th place. Hurrah.
playing.
Wiz?
That's a lot of people.
It is a
he has a straight
The
angle.
thing is,
That
we don't
means he
even have
never done
29
anything
people in this
wrong in his
meeting. How is
life.
that possible?
I don't even know. We only have 20 people in this
So then
class
how
right
do
now.
we have 29 participants? Like, how do we have 29, like...
We're actually 18 minus me and Emily.
Okay.
Yeah, then how do we have 29 people in this game?
Someone's
Someone just
hacking.
spammed like Trump.
Someone's hacking
remember?
us.
Someone spammed Trump.
okay. Question 9 out of
When
11.
naming
We're naming
animals,
animals.
always the
Animals.
second letter.
I always just see which the answer. I always click.
Letter that comes second in terms of the alphabet
Sometimes I answer
out of
too
the
quickly
3
and then
letters.
I choose the wrong thing.
The letter that comes second in the terms of the alphabet out of the 3.
What does math have to do with the alphabet? That's my question.
It has everything to do with the alphabet.
It does. Like you have to read all the books. Wow.
I'm in 4th place. Oh my gosh.
Circles have
No side.
I hope the last question's a super hard one.
you do. Yeah, everybody got
What is
correct.
the last?
Hey, 100%.
Why am I now in 5th place? That's mean.
Quiz. Exterior angle theorem states that. Ooh.
Eh? This is when I become dead.
Oh, you should guess. Guess Lauren. I don't know. I just guess.
Ooh.
You got it right, Lord.
Ooh. I got blown. I'm still first place. All right.
All right, congrats to Kahoot. Congrats to Jeffrey 4.0. And congrats to Sir. ...
My name is Sir ...
All right, congrats, Sir. ...
No, you did not win.
No, you did
What
not.
is that?
Jeffrey, you look really scary in black and white.
Dude,
Someone
you look
just
like the guy
spam
who
in the
sits next to
chat.
me in science, but in black and white.
My back is like George Washington, and now I'm George Washington's nose.
Yeah, you're like, your background is not working. You like cut off half your face.
I am my background. Look, I can just change my background into
I know, you can make
I would
it
turn on my
Trump.
camera,
No,
but no.
this is Trump.
Wow, it's in your
that just
face.
looks
I
bad.
am Trump.
I can see Trump except for there's your teeth in there. For some reason.
Goodbye.
Your teeth is in Trump. It's kind of weird.
What the heck just said goodbye?
How did you do that? That's so creepy.
That's super weird.
You can only do
Why
it in
didn't you just say,
iPad.
why did you just say goodbye?
Oh,
Oh, because everyone's saying goodbye in the chat. But yeah, you guys can go now. So
Okay, bye.
bye, guys.
Bye. I won again.
spam in the chat.
I actually beat Jeffrey. Hey. No offense to you though.
In the meeting, someone.
All right, I'll be the last person to leave, just in case you guys have any questions. I'm gonna do that from now. All right, bye, guys.
Ha! I'm gonna stay here forever.
Yeah, I'll end it when
Unless
you're
he
the
ends
only
the
one.
meeting. I'm just gonna stay here too. Because who wants to talk?
Who's TV and our frags? You're literally copying, like. Wait, I need to change my face.
That's me.
Okay, I'm gonna go now, guys. All right, see you guys.
Just leave.
you guys on
Don't end
Tuesday.
the meeting. Just
Just leave.